And the Josie scale is either a yeah or a Josie. And if it's a yeah, that means it's better than Your Love by the Outfield. And if it's a Josie, it's not as good.
Wait, so the whole premise of the podcast is whether or not every song the Beatles has ever done is better than that song by the Outfield?
That's just how it ends every episode. They go into the depth of like who recorded it, who wrote it, what they've said about the song, how many people have covered it.
That's awesome.
It's quite a nice show.
I don't know who the Outfield is.
Josie's on a vacation far away.
Oh, yeah, I do know that song.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
We were both perfectly on key, but I didn't remember the words, so I'm just like saying gibberish, but it sounds good.
Is this the cold open?
Yeah. Oh. Welcome to the cold open, Adam.
We hope you will enjoy the show.
Am I supposed to be part of this?
Adam, welcome to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Good Time Podcast, the only podcast.
The one and only lonely podcast on the internet or in books or scrawled on the walls that identifies, biographies, and signifies.
And Sigmund Freudizes.
Man, that was a good cold open, you guys.
Yeah.
All the figures on the Beatles 1967. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah. Could you guys actually like introduce me proper? I want my first and last name said.
You got it, and we'll give you a chance to put all your handles out there. Let me get through the intro.
Yeah.
All the figures on the Beatles 1967 album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. We are now in our second season, nearing the end, and we decided to just go one person at a time. So today we're going to talk about Sri Paramahansa Yogananda.
Okay, and what exactly like? So what is the premise of this? Like you guys are
just
talking
said
about
it.
but like there's other shtick that you guys do, right? What you said you go through every single person on the list. How do you pick the people?
Well,
Left
they're
to right,
in
like a
order.
book.
Just left to right?
Yeah.
Oh, in numerical order.
Yeah, there is actually an official list that has them numbered.
Yeah,
and
and
we've
names
been going,
them. I've seen that. So you just go down the list then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
And then who's today's?
Sri Paramahansa Yogananda.
Oh, great. Somebody I know a lot about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we have you on for this one.
I'm basically an expert on that.
Who are you,
shit.
by the way? Adam J.
Yeah. Well, you can say my name. You can introduce me. Go ahead.
To my right on the couch. Adam, I want to say it right. Janovac.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You
You've
might
been
know
here
me-
before.
Yeah, you might know me from like from some bars around where I'm just drunk all the time. I also have really.
Do you know
long
where you
hair
are right
and a
now?
beard, huh?
Do you know where you are right now?
I have an idea. I think we're in Tremont somewhere.
Yeah, we're at Golden Ox Studios.
Oh,
That's with an O.
that explains all the like padding on the walls and stuff.
Well, no, the padding on the walls is because this is like sort of a murder dungeon.
Oh, but it's
Look at all the
upstairs
cameras.
upstairs murder dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dungeon doesn't have to be downstairs.
Yeah, it's like a vacation dungeon.
I mean, I'm pretty sure dungeons.
It's like a
are-
beach. It's like a beachfront
Not
dungeon.
above ground.
You're always pissed off when you end up having your dungeon on beachfront property because as soon as the tide comes in, your dungeon
Yeah,
is
it's
just.
just flooded. Well, that then becomes an underwater dungeon, and that's a bonus level, you know.
Oh yeah.
And the soundtrack gets better, too.
Yeah, when you're underwater, yeah, or when there's danger of water.
I don't like underwater soundtracks. They always just sound like.
Denim.
No, that's underground.
Yeah, that's
Underground
underground. That's dungeon
soundtracks are
music.
always good. But like underwater ones, they always just sound like nursery rhyme music. It'll be like
Oh, yeah.
My mind goes to, my
What's-
ears really go to Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo when they go underwater, if you remember that.
I never
Beautiful
played that
bed. It's a
game.
beautiful bed.
Oh yeah, I do remember
Beautiful
that.
bed.
It's more atmospheric music.
What's the one from Sonic? I feel like those underwater levels were just tense music the whole time.
I
No,
didn't
that
know
was
Sonic could
only when
swim.
you were in the water for longer than like
yeah, and you're
10
about
seconds.
to drown because you need to find another bubble.
Yeah, it starts playing the Jaws music, but fast.
But yeah, we're here at the Golden Ox Studios. That's with an
Oh,
O,
yeah.
not an AU.
Back on track.
In beautiful Tremont, Ohio.
Professional. And who are we talking about again?
Sri Paramahansa Yogananda.
Can you
What's
tell
their
us-
deal?
Can you
Keep
tell
saying
us
it, so
about him?
I sure
what's their
can.
deal?
Yeah, let's go down to brass tacks.
I wonder who came up with having him on the cover.
Oh, George.
You think George had all of the Indian gurus?
All of
You think
Absolutely.
statistically that like when there's 12 gurus on the cover that like he picked every single one of them?
Was that George's like shtick? Was
That's all he
like
wanted.
he was the one that like took everybody to India and stuff like that
Yeah.
and did all that shit. Was that him? For real?
I don't know if he, probably the inspiration to go there, but this album came out before they went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
I
he was
heard
just into
that-
it. That's why he was like playing the sitar and stuff.
I heard the whole reason
Interesting.
that George Harrison got so into Indian spiritualism is because he went to India for a dental procedure that he couldn't afford in England because of the healthcare at the time. And, you know, you can just get your teeth done pretty much anywhere in India.
They're just
But-
dentists dying to work on people's teeth.
Are you
We'll
being
pay
serious? I
you.
can't tell if you're joking or not. Is that for real?
I don't think so.
All right, so what's this guy's deal?
So Yogananda, he wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. It's probably the thing he's best known for. He's really kind of the first superstar yogi guy. He was born in January of 1893 in India. Ended up dying in Los Angeles, and we'll get to the way he died is quite interesting. But
Teaser.
yeah, stay tuned to hear how he died. So Yogananda's guru was Yukitswar, which if you've been a long time listener to this podcast, thank you so much. Or if you only heard the first episode and now this one, this is the first guy we talked about, Yukitswar. They met when he was 17 in India, and when you find your guru, you're kind of set. You know, you just have your teacher take you around.
Once you go guru, you never go.
Nuru.
Just sounds like you're saying goo goo a whole bunch. Once you go guru, you never go.
I thought a yogi just practiced yoga. Am I stupid?
Well, they do that a
They're
lot.
just
too.
really good at yoga.
Well, they're so good
Right?
at yoga, like they're like always doing yoga.
Like constantly, like Kegels.
Yes, just like Kegels.
Nice. That's impressive.
The goal is to find a perfect state of tantric ecstasy.
No, that's Sting. You're
Sometimes you
thinking
go in a
of
cave
Sting.
or a dungeon.
Yeah. You just got to get your own rocks off.
Well, there is this one guy that
Hours.
has been living in a cave for the past 5,000 years.
So that's Babaji, who we
Yeah.
talked about a couple episodes back on this season. So Babaji is sort of like the goalpost, the one that everyone wants to see and be around. And
Because he's still living in a cave. He's
Yeah.
still alive in a cave. You
he
can't see
appears
him.
whenever he wants to. We replaced him. So also
He's like
in this show,
Schrodinger's yogi.
Schrodinger's Energizer Bunny, Energizer Bunny. So we replace everyone also by the end of every episode on this show with someone a little more current.
Modern.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you said he shows up whenever he wants to. We replaced him.
Who'd you replace him with?
The Energizer Bunny.
Oh, okay. Because he keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Yogananda was really a goo-goo for the go-go's and the gurus. Superstar guru of the 20th century. 6,000 people came to see him when he first came to America because they already knew about him. He established the
You
self-realization.
said 60,000?
6,000.
Oh,
No,
6,000.
no, there weren't that many people alive.
That's a lot
then.
of people still. 6,000? There weren't that many people alive.
Established the Self-Realization Fellowship, the SRF for short, in Los Angeles and L.A. in 1925. Wrote Autobiography of a Yogi in 46. It's a literary masterpiece which introduced readers to the profound wisdom of all yoga and meditation. The Kiri Yoga, which is a same one that, again, Yukitswar and Babaji were icons of. And also the underlying unity of all religions. So like perennialism, which also Huxley talked about. So this really ties a nice little knot on a lot of the people we've been talking about. So encourage others to live a life of love and passion and service to others. If he was alive on the day, he would have been 74, but he
It's a
wasn't
far
there.
cry from 5,000.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Fucking poser. Why don't you lock yourself in a cave or something, bitch?
He was a really young
Maybe you'll
buck.
live longer.
So when a yogi such as Yogananda moves on, they refer. So when you die, you don't die. You just sort of reach the next level. I think it's in Harry Potter. Dumbledore says death, to the most, to the enlightened individual, death is nothing to be feared but the next great adventure. So it's reaching Mahasaha. That's not right. Mahasamadhi. Mahasamadhi is when, all right, I'm done. I'm done being in this mortal coil. Time to be, back in the ether. So the circumstances surrounding his passing are quite unique. He'd been giving a speech at a banquet in honor of the Indian ambassador to the U.S. at the Biltmore Hotel in L.A., and during the address, he appeared to be in good health and spirits, and at the end of the speech, Yogananda made a reference to his impending departure and wished to be remembered in the hearts of all of his disciples. This is in the speech.
Right.
And then he straight up closed his eyes, assumed a meditative posture, and consciously left his body.
Fucking chose to die on stage.
Yeah.
That's a fucking G-ass thing to do. That is the fucking wildest shit. Like, he's like, he even said it. He called his fucking shot, too. That's fucking bonkers.
Babe Ruth meets, like mic drop.
The ultimate
tent.
mic drop. Fucking dropped his whole body, dog.
It's like Muhammad Ali predicting his own knockout.
Not really. Like that whole, and the whole thing that you said, like he chose. He's like, you know what? Actually, I'm done here, and just to show my real power, you know what? That's better than locking yourself in a cave and pretending to be alive for 5,000 years. Dying on stage by choice, just because you willed yourself to die. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Especially if you're in good health, because I feel like it would be easier to just lose the will to live if you were already sort of a failing
But
health.
at the end of a speech, too, dude.
Well, because a lot of those guys, I think, can probably do that. There's those monks, those I don't know if they're Tibetan monks, the Shaolin monks. They can train their hearts to slow down to the point where they're like nearly or maybe completely undetectable. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, how do you slow your heart rate down to almost nothing? But then, like, to be able to, like, you just go a little too far.
That was the move, dude. That's exactly what he did. He's like, I can sit here and I can lower my heart rate to the point where it just stops, and I just sit there with my heart not pumping blood because I will it to happen.
In the movie Flatliners, they actually had to, like, do something to make that happen.
Yeah,
they were
gave him
doing that.
They gave him drugged cocktails. Yeah, to keep him under for longer. Yeah.
But if these guys, if they wanted to do it, if these monks all wanted to do the Flatliners thing, they could just all get
Can
together.
we talk about how sweet a movie Flatliners is? No. Continue. We should talk about.
Well, we
should talk
are.
about
We
this
are.
one.
I'm saying you do Flatliners, but just with a bunch of monks, and they're all taking turns slowing their hearts down naturally without the use of drugs. And then sometimes they go too far, you know.
That is like the coolest. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard, though. Like him willing himself to die after a speech.
Yeah, I couldn't
Brilliant.
believe it when I read that on him. So I was in 52. Album came out in 63, so it was 15 years before it came out. But since he did a speech, we also know his last words. His last words were a recitation of a poem called My India. And the last line that he recited of it were, where Ganges, woods, Himalayan caves, and men dream God, I am hallowed. My body touched that sod.
And then it goes, Do 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 my India.
Also, after he died, his body did not deteriorate the way most bodies will. Like, he was in pretty impeccable shape and form for quite some time, but was eventually embalmed, and his remains are in Glendale, California.
So if
What does his last words mean? What the fuck does that mean?
My body touched that sod, so I looked up sod, and it's most things I find are like
Grass thing?
fake grass
Yeah,
that you
fake
put
grass.
like like a grass transplant,
Grass carpet. Yeah.
like a merkin for your
Lawn
Lawn.
merkin.
shout out to
Lawn merkin.
the other Richard Merkin. Is that the Merkin that we talked about in
I
the
think
first
so,
season?
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't David Merkin.
No, it was Richard Merkin, and we replaced them with and Adam, you would know this if you listened to our show. We're really happy to have you here. We replaced him with first it was going to be Lisa Frank, but we thought better to make at least one of the Lisa Frank's tigers,
Oh, nice.
little
yeah.
Siberian tiger.
Or like a unicorn or something. I would have chose unicorn. All right, so what's the move now? Now we know about this guy and what an absolute gangster he is.
Gangster, yeah, gangster guru.
What he was.
was
What do we
yeah.
do now? What's the move? I don't listen to the show.
Skincare tips for Mae West. I feel like he would have had great skincare advice for Mae West.
Skincare,
Being clearly capable of keeping his body in impeccable shape up to and including after the time of his death. Right? You said he stayed immaculate for like several weeks after he died.
yeah, for some time, I don't know, I forget how long, but like usually once you die, like you start,
Decaying.
yeah, you start getting kind of rough
Yeah.
looking, and I just wasn't getting all too rough looking. But
He got more
He
distinguished.
smelled nice.
he smelled like
Like
sandalwood.
usually when people die, they get all decrepit, but
Yeah.
he just looked more distinguished.
He smelled like that cologne that we called Dion.
Yeah.
Dion. No, I feel like his skincare routine is just eat clean, and
Eat clean.
eat
Die
clean.
famous.
Call your shots.
Leave an immaculate corpse that doesn't deteriorate for several
Yeah,
weeks.
An
that's also a
exquisite corpse.
fucking. That's also a GS move too. Like I'm gonna kill myself on stage, and then I'm not even gonna rot. I refuse to rot. Also,
Yeah, that whole rot thing, I'm not into it.
I'm not.
He's like,
doing
because
that.
what if I decide to come back in 2 months?
Put me in a cave.
How do you think he'd feel knowing he was on this album cover?
It depends on if he liked the Beatles or not.
Yeah. Well, also like, I mean, he'd probably be stoked about it. He wrote a fucking book. You're not writing a book and being like this like icon to a bunch of people if you don't want to be, right? You want to get yourself out there. So even after death, I think he'd be fine with it.
I think
I
so
think
too.
he'd be about it.
So I hope everybody has their album cover out right now,
What
so
a
you
transition,
can
what a pro.
look at him. He's a little obscured by a hand there. It looks like the hand of Tony Soprano. That's not Tony Soprano.
A guy with a widow's peak. It's like
Yeah.
fucking Eddie Munster's dad.
Yeah, blah,
But in
blah.
real life, yeah, Dracula.
So he's the one that looks painted. He's right between William S. Burroughs and Oliver Hardy there. Or is that Stan Laurel? No, Hardy's the
Dan
one.
Laurel's the skinny one.
Then Laurel, yeah. He's got his eyes looking up like he's rolling them, kind of like the emoji that you can pick when you're rolling your
Oh yeah.
eyes.
Or your Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band Good Time Podcast blunts.
Rolling those up.
Those as well, yeah.
I'm tracking. I got you.
There are editions of this album that came with a big tobacco leaf that you could have used to roll a really big,
Yeah.
a real big fatty.
A really
Yeah.
giant.
Those
jazz
are hard to
cigarette.
find now because everyone just immediately
They
was
call
like,
that
"We
the
gotta
Ringo."
use it."
Wait, is that real? Is that real? It came with a big leaf
No, that's
on it?
not real.
Oh, okay.
No, it did come with badges though. So at this part in the show, Adam, we'll usually introduce ChatGPT into the chat and have them,
Them.
all of them,
I don't
They.
think anyone would want to be referred to as an it.
Well, I mean,
IT.
it's a robot. So. Did you do this guy yet? Look how big that guy's hat is.
No, we're top left. So you see where we're at. So everything
Yeah,
up
yeah.
above that. So we done Poe, we done Dylan, Lenny Bruce, Dion.
Deal.
So who's he talking to? Who's this a conversation between?
Well, Mae West, she's been mingling around in this party for a while. And,
Just slutting it up.
well, none of them know why they're there at this point anymore. You
Neither
see,
do we. That's why we do these.
John Lennon's just like Bill and Tedding it. He's going through time and space, kidnapping these people, drugging them, and like standing them up there.
That's the detail I should have got like at the top of the show.
I mean, that's just what that's one of the leading theories right now.
Is why they're all hanging out for this picture.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dan, you'll be May. I'll be Yogananda.
Okay.
All right.
Mae West, she's leaning against a plush chair. Well, hello there, handsome. I heard you're some sort of guru, huh? What's all this talk about enlightenment and stuff?
Smiling warmly. Greetings, my dear. Yes, I am a spiritual teacher, and enlightenment is indeed a topic I often discuss. It's about finding inner peace and realizing our true nature.
Inner peace, huh? Sounds intriguing. But I've always found my peace on the big screen, darling. Anyway, let's not get too serious now. How about we talk about something more glamorous, like skincare routines?
Ah, I see. Well, taking care of the body is essential. A healthy body can help create a more balanced mind and spirit. A simple daily routine with natural products can work wonders.
Now you're talking my language. So what's your secret, guru? How do you keep that radiant glow?
It's quite simple, actually. I believe in the power of natural ingredients like turmeric, sandalwood, and aloe vera for cleansing and nourishing the skin. I also emphasize the importance of maintaining a healthy diet and regular exercise.
You sure know how to keep it all zen and glamorous. I must say your skin's pretty smooth for a guru. Maybe I'll give you...
Sorry.
Our gurus usually all covered in pimples.
They're all
Blackheads.
leathery. That's a leathery guru wallet.
Maybe I'll give your tips a try sometime.
I'm glad to hear that. It's all about finding harmony in every aspect of our lives, including how we care for ourselves. But let's not forget about enlightenment.
Honey, you can keep your enlightenment. I got enough spark in me already. Besides, being a star is enlightenment enough for me.
Everybody's journey is unique, and I respect that. Remember, enlightenment isn't about becoming someone else. It's about discovering your true self and realizing the vast potential within you.
That's deep, darling. but I'll stick to being the sassy and glamorous Mae West. It's worked pretty well for me so far.
Of course, May. Embrace who you are and enjoy your journey. If you ever feel curious or want to explore more, you know where to find me.
Sure thing, Guru. Now back to those skincare tips. You got any recommendations for a classic beauty like me?
Absolutely. We can discuss it further, and I'll be happy to share some natural remedies that will enhance your already exquisite beauty. And so the conversation continued, mixing the worlds of enlightenment and glamour, each respecting the other's path while finding common ground in caring for the body and spirit. Mae West may not have pursued enlightenment in the traditional sense, but she left the conversation with some valuable insights on self-care and a touch of spirituality to add to her sparkling personality. And Yogananda ended the conversation with, anyways, this party pretty much sucks. I'm going to go kill myself.
Yay.
Guys, I gotta confess. I lied to both of you and to our dear listeners. The person we've pointed out with the hand in front of their face, that's not Yogananda. That's Babaji. Sorry, Babaji has the emoji face, eyes up. Because we're all the way on the right side here. We've already done Laurel and Hardy, and
It's this guy?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
all the way on the bottom right under the amalgamation.
That changes everything.
Of Simon Rodita and
it doesn't.
the Bob Dylan conjoined twin thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where they are to orient
I
yourself.
appreciate instant corrections. I think that's way better because, like, if you have to correct yourself in the next episode, people don't care anymore. They're not going to go back and listen. But I have quite a bit of faith that our listening audience, keeps their albums out in front of them and has their numbered outline. You know, what is it? The chalk outline diagram.
A murder board?
Whoa. Because they're all dead. Those are all chalk
Dylan's not
outlines.
Bob Dylan's not dead. Dion's not dead. Babaji isn't really dead.
Bob Dylan's definitely dead. If Paul McCartney's dead, Bob Dylan's dead. You know how easy it would be to replace Bob Dylan? You could put a harmonica around anyone's neck. If they look like that.
I like to think that the folks at home on their album covers, they have those little sticker sheets. It's just like a bunch of circles, like a bunch of red circles, and just put one over each face after we complete them.
I like to believe that they're etching them out with a red Sharpie. I like that idea, and I also like the idea of them like listening to y'all talk about like these two characters interacting, and then them writing like spicy fanfic like after it. Like, yeah, and then they fuck.
I think a lot of people probably
Flesh tone bodysuits.
don't listen to this podcast, but if people did listen to it, I think a lot of people would probably wonder why we use ChatGPT so much, and I think the answer is obvious.
There's a writer's strike.
No, I was gonna say the album cover was clearly designed by an AI in Beatles Prime, which is the original. Like, we feel like we live in, this is what I think. I think that we feel like we live in the universe where the Beatles originated, but I don't think I think this is a splinter universe. I think every universe is a splinter universe of every other universe, but I think that this is not Prime Beatles universe. And in the Beatles Prime universe, AI technology already existed. They were very interested in conspiracy theories that people had about them, right? That is a known thing. People were coming up with these little conspiracy theories, and the Beatles would lean into it. They start adding more of the Paul is dead stuff. I feel like that was all fun and games, but by the time Sgt. Pepper came out, I think that John, being the abusive trickster that he is, probably wanted to take things up a notch. Experimental conspiracy theory, right? Everything's experimental with the Beatles. So I think that album cover was designed to generate the ultimate conspiracy theory, which would be a quantum conspiracy theory, something that would make sense no matter how you looked at it. You know what I mean? There's so much random shit on that picture, right? And it is all random, but it's not random, right? I think that in every universe, that cover looks exactly like that. I think that's the only thing that is the same in every universe that
Across all the
exists.
splinters.
Across all the splinter universes, that's always the album cover. We can all see it, right? And that's evil. There's something wrong with that, and I still feel like we need to figure that out. But there's something not right about that. And I don't like that they did that.
I've got splinters in my fingers.
Did that because they did that on purpose.
Well, it's a QR code. You know,
It's a QR code.
No, it isn't.
It's to remind you that you can be wherever and whoever and however. So at this point of the show, it's just we're gearing up to a smooth landing. We replace, like I said, we replace them. So
who would be the
Paramahansa
replacement?
Yogananda.
Kurt
Also-
Cobain.
Kurt Cobain
That was a called shot, right?
from the hip.
I think Kurt Cobain. He's like a philosophizer to a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of people loved him, followed him. When he died, it made a big impact.
That is all
Did call
true.
his shot, blasted himself. You know. Who else? Who else punched their own ticket? That was famous. Did it on purpose.
Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, Robin Williams too.
Robin Williams. That'd be the first and a half time / Robin Williams is on the cover in our change because we switched. Yukitsar. Well, with kind of two people. We added a person on the first episode, so we switched Yukitsar with Oprah.
Yeah, that's right.
And we switched Aleister Crowley with Jimmy Page. But we wanted to put Disney's Aladdin's genie as Phil Collins with his arms around the both of them. So that kind of counts as Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Just to catch everybody
It's Robin
up.
Williams in spirit.
So can't use Robin Williams then.
No, we surely can. I mean, we surely can because they use so many Shirleys on the original.
Oh yeah, I guess, and that could be your guys' running theme is a bunch of Robin Williamses.
No. Superman.
Superman died fighting
Superman.
Doomsday. Thank you.
No,
very
I mean
much.
George Reeves.
Oh yeah, George Reeves. Yeah,
George Reeves?
Yeah, he jumped
Or
off.
Steve Reeves? It's George
Christopher
Reeves?
Reeves
Christopher Reeves.
is a different guy.
Steve Reeves is a real guy too.
Yeah.
I thought he was Superman.
Steve Reeves movie.
I don't know who Steve Reeves is.
Perhaps we could take in an old Steve Reeves movie.
Can we have Tim Curry?
No, I'm talking about
Steve Reeves.
No,
Christopher Reeves.
no.
George Reeves.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Whatever this first Superman guy was, whatever his name is, Bob Crane.
Well, we got to just land on one. We got Cobain. I like Superman. And
Just
we
Superman himself.
Superman never killed himself.
Superman put himself into like some kind of Kryptonian coma once. That's like kind of the same thing.
Okay,
Like
then-
after he fought Doomsday and everybody thought he was dead. That was the reason that he wasn't dead.
Oh, yeah.
is because he put himself into like a fugue state or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
So maybe
that tracks.
Superman's actually
Which-
pretty good.
Which that makes me think also, so where in the world is
Currency
Yogananda right now?
Oh, as Superman?
No, so, I mean, I guess they're just up in the spirit in the sky.
Oh yeah, no, because
swirling.
like what you said with like on in that top half, like he chose like there's that whole like thing where like when you want to go to the other realm, you just go, and that's what he chose to do. He's like, I'm out, peace out.
Oh, this is my stop.
Yeah, Been a good one, guys. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
I think you guys got it from here.
Just gonna
How
sit
old
down,
was he
take
when
a
he
little
did
break.
that?
70-something?
He played it pretty safe, wouldn't you agree?
No, he.
If he could have done that any time, and he was like, "Yeah, you can just leave whenever you want." I'm in my late 70s, but
no, he was. He was 59. 59.
Oh,
He would have been
He
in the
wasn't even in the
70s
70s.
when the album came out.
oh right.
Oh, damn. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, 59 years old.
So it's between Superman,
Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen Sandiego never.
No. You said where in the world is. And
Yeah,
I said
I know.
Carmen Sandiego. Kurt Cobain, Superman, another vote for Robin Williams was in there. And then I think that was it.
I think that Superman and
What
Kurt
wins?
Cobain are both important historical figures. I think that Kurt Cobain does seem to be more of a philosopher than Superman.
He's like a poet.
Yeah.
He's like a mopey person. You know what I mean? And that
Yeah.
guy was like all about life and stuff.
And he had anger. Yeah.
I think Superman's good.
Superman.
Yeah.
Super
not?
Peppers. Super Peppers, man. Lonely Hearts, man.
Except for all the child trafficking stuff, they definitely do.
How about Super Kurt?
Super Kurt.
Yeah.
Ooh,
who
Kurt
did?
Cobain in a Superman outfit.
It's Kurt
Superman.
Cobain in a suit jacket, but it's open, and you can see the S underneath. But he's wearing the glasses, and he's got the short, slick back hair. But it's Kurt
Fucking grunge
Cobain.
Superman.
You want him in the Superman gear?
No, I'm just saying that's grunge Superman. You just made grunge Superman, like I said.
But it's canonically Kurt Cobain in this picture.
Mhm.
Okay.
But it's also Superman. It's Superman.
straight up Superman.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Super duper man.
Thanks everybody for hanging out and whipping out your album cover. Come back next week when we talk about someone that you can't really see too well. He's there though, we think. We'll be talking about James Joyce. What's his middle name again?
Aloysius. He has several names.
Aloysius.